Conjunctiva. What is conjunctiva? Today, my topic is about the anatomy and the physiology of the conjunctiva. It is a thin, translucent mucous membrane that covers the under surface of an eyelid and is reflected over the anterior surface of an eyeball up to the limbus. So, what do you mean by that? It is a thin, translucent membrane. So, I have drawn this picture a large white because I have to tell you about the anterior part of an eyeball. When we see someone's eye, so this structure we have seen that there is in between the white part there is a black part which is seeing like a black part, but it is a transparent which is known as a cornea. So it is a cornea. The whole white part is a sclera, and there are two eyelids, upper eyelid and the lower eyelid. So for the basic concept of the conjunctiva, we have to know about these three structures. These are upper eyelid, and this is a lower eyelid. So the conjunctiva is a transparent, translucent membrane that covers the whole surface over the sclera up to the limbus. Because this junction is known as a limbus, so it covers whole anterior part of an eyeball and it is under surface of the eyelid. So when we divide the conjunctiva, we divide it into three parts. The first part is the palpebral conjunctiva. Palpebral conjunctiva means that it is under surface of an eyelid and it starts at the mucocutaneous junction of an eyelid, where the eyelid end, the skin of an eyelid end, and the mucous membrane starts. This mucous membrane is made up of conjunctiva. So this junction, mucocutaneous junction of an eyelid, is covered by palpebral conjunctiva. Now, this palpebral conjunctiva is only limited towards the under surface of an eyelid, and it is tightly attached to the tarsus. What is tarsus? The tarsus is a tarsal bone which is present in the eyelid. So when we talk about, inshallah, after later we will talk about the anatomy of an eyelid. So we will talk about the tarsus bone. After that, there is a fornicel conjunctiva. Fornicel conjunctiva starts from where the palpebral conjunctiva end, and it is between the eyelid and the eyeball. So this is an eyelid and this is an eyeball. This is an eyelid and there is an eyeball. So only a small part. It's only a small part which is covered by the fornicel conjunctiva. When we touch the eyelid of a person, so when we up down the eyelid, so we see that there is a small area of the conjunctiva is moving along with the eyelid. So this part of an eyelid is known as the fornicel conjunctiva. And under surface of eyelid there is a palpebral conjunctiva. After that there is a bulbar conjunctiva which surrounds an eyeball. This is a fornicel conjunctiva, and whole sclera and whole eyeball is covered by the bulbar conjunctiva. So these are the parts of the conjunctiva. Three parts: palpebral, fornicel, and the bulbar conjunctiva. And the bulbar conjunctiva is fuses with the tenon capsule. Below the conjunctiva there is a tenon capsule, and this bulbar conjunctiva is adhered to the tenon capsule and it insert into the limbus. So there is a need of an insertion of a conjunctiva. So this conjunctiva is inserted into the limbus. Not any part of the conjunctiva is reflected over the cornea, because the cornea is a transparent structure. So we have to. So the normal anatomy of an eyeball means that this conjunctiva will not cover the cornea. But there is a condition in which there is a fibrovascular connective tissue growth of a conjunctiva towards the cornea, which is known as a pterygium. So it is an abnormal condition, we will talk later. But in the normal conjunctiva, this conjunctiva is inserted into the limbus. The limbus is a part where the cornea meets the sclera, but it does not cover the cornea, because if it's covered the cornea, so cornea become opaque, and the cornea is a transparent structure. So after that, after we have talked about all the parts of the conjunctiva, so we talk about the layers of the conjunctiva. There are two layers of the conjunctiva. One is an epithelium and one is a stroma. So what the epithelium work and what the stroma works? So epithelium is a non-keratinized squamous epithelium. There are no keratin protein in the epithelium. After that, this epithelium and this epithelium continues with the epithelium of the cornea. So there is a conjunctival epithelium. This whole is a conjunctival epithelium, and this epithelium at the limbus convert into the epithelium of the cornea. So it is continuous with the epithelium of the cornea. After that, this epithelium is made up of type 4 collagen fibers. Its composition is a type 4 collagen fiber. Now the second thing is a stroma. So the stroma is a connective tissue structure in which there are many glands and blood vessels. So now we talk about the stroma. The stroma is a deep layer below the epithelium, and this stroma is divided into the adenoid layer and the fibrous layer. What does the stroma contain? The stroma contain the blood vessels, connective tissue, and there are the nerves which are present within the stroma. So first of all, we'll talk about this superficial layer, which is an adenoid layer, in which there are the lymphocyte mast cells and the macrophages are present. And the main significance of this adenoid layer is that it is absent at birth, and it produce and it become mature up to the 3 to 4 months of age. After that, there is the fibrous layer, which is a main layer and which contain many glands, which are the accessory lacrimal glands. The lacrimal glands are present in the lacrimal eyelid, but these accessory lacrimal glands are present within the conjunctiva. So one of the most important gland, which is an accessory lacrimal gland, is the gland of Krusi. This is a gland of Krusi. So this gland of Krusi is present on the forniceal conjunctiva, which is the small part between the eyelid and the eyeball. So this is a forniceal conjunctiva which is present between the eyelid and an eyeball, and in this conjunctiva there is a gland of Krusi, which is the main accessory lacrimal gland. So there is a variation between the upper eyelid and the lower eyelid. In the upper eyelid there is 42 numbers of gland of Krusi, and in the lower eyelid there are few glands of Krusi which are only 6 or 8 in number. After that, there is a gland of Wolfing, and there is goblet cells, glands of Henle, and the glands of Mons. These are the only glands which are mucus secreting glands, and they are not important as much. So this is an anatomy of the conjunctiva. Now we will talk about the blood supply of the conjunctiva. The blood supply of the conjunctiva is from two areas. The conjunctiva is supplied by two vessels, which are known as the posterior conjunctival vessels and the anterior conjunctival vessels. The posterior conjunctival vessels are the vessels which are present in the eyelid, and they form from the medial and the lateral arcade of the ophthalmic and the lacrimal arteries. These are the two arcades. Arcades means that there is an arches, and there is a blood vessel arches which are present in the eyelid, and these arcades are the branches of the ophthalmic and the lacrimal arteries. So these supply the areas of the conjunctiva which are palpebral, forniceal, and some part of the bulbar conjunctiva. So these are the posterior conjunctival vessels. Now the other vessels is an anterior conjunctival vessels. The anterior conjunctival vessels, which are the ciliary arteries, anterior ciliary arteries, which arises from the muscular branches, and these supply the bulbar part of the conjunctiva, major part of the bulbar parts of the conjunctiva. So these two are the blood supply of the blood vessels of the conjunctiva. Now we will talk about the nerve supply. The nerve supply is the circumcorneal junction of the conjunctiva, which supply the most of the part of the conjunctiva. These are the branches from the long ciliary nerves. So these are the branches of the long ciliary nerves. Nerve supply. Long ciliary nerves, and the other is a very important branch which is known as the branches from the supratrochlear, infratrochlear, supraorbital, infraorbital. These are the branches which supply the conjunctiva. Now, what is the function of the conjunctiva? What is the main role of the conjunctiva in an eye? So, it joins the eyelid with an eyeball. There is only one connection which joins the conjunctiva with an eyeball. So, this connection is made through conjunctiva. So, it is the main function of the conjunctiva. After that, it produces aqueous and mucin secretion which contribute in the formation of the pericorneal tear film. We have talked about that there are the accessory lacrimal glands which form the lacrimal tear film. So, there is a gland of Krusy, there is a gland of Wolfing, there is a gland of Henle, there is a gland of Burns, which contribute in the precorneal tear film, and this precorneal tear film protect the cornea from an outward atmosphere. After that, there is a very important function. It play important role in the immune surveillance, help to prevent the entrance of the microbes into the eye, or it also supply the nutrition of the peripheral cornea, because the peripheral cornea is a limbus part, which is the junction between the scalene and the cornea. So this part of the cornea is supplied through the conjunctiva. So this is whole about the anatomy and the physiological of the conjunctiva. Thank you very much.